If you're planning a cruise in 2026, pay close attention because the rules have quietly changed. The strategies that worked 5 years ago can now cost you thousands, drain your energy by day 3, or turn what should be a seamless vacation into a frustrating one. Cruise lines are going bigger, more digital, and more complex. Pricing isn't simple anymore. Discount cabins aren't always deals, and new systems, from mandatory apps to dynamic onboard charges, are catching even experienced travelers off guard. In this video, we're breaking down the 11 critical cruise mistakes travelers over 55 must avoid in 2026 so you can protect your money, your comfort, and your vacation. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1 is falling for the cruise industry's modern money traps. There are real financial advantages to cruising over 55, but 2026 is flooded with sophisticated scams. Fake social media ads and sponsored search results are specifically designed to look exactly like legitimate cruise lines. Never hand over credit card details to unverified links or phone numbers. Always book through trusted, vetted travel advisors or directly with the cruise line. But the biggest financial mistake isn't a scam. It's obsessing over the senior discount while completely ignoring the total cost. Automatic gratuities, port fees, specialty dining, and a la carte add-ons can quickly erase any base fare savings you thought you had. Stop looking at the sticker price. Ask for the full out-the-door cost. And here's another set of hidden expenses many cruisers underestimate: Wi-Fi and drink packages. Cruise lines almost always discount these before sailing and then raise the prices the moment you step on board. Decide what you actually need in advance and pre-purchase it. Waiting until day 1 almost always means paying more. Often, booking a premium line that inherently includes beverages, Wi-Fi, and gratuities ends up being cheaper than a budget cruise that nickel and dimes you for everything separately. Do the math on the total cost, not the promotional fare. Mistake number 2 is leaving guaranteed money on the table because you aren't playing the long game. Yes, brands like Celebrity, Carnival, and Royal Caribbean offer price drops for travelers over 55, while MSC Cruises unlock specific savings for those over 65 on select sailings. And if you are in the United States, an AARP membership can unlock additional value, reducing costs not just on the cruise fare, but often on pre-cruise hotels, flights, and car rentals. Furthermore, loyalty absolutely pays. By consistently sailing with just 1 or 2 lines, elite status is reached faster, unlocking meaningful perks like complimentary laundry, priority boarding, specialty dining credits, and exclusive onboard events. Here's another tactic many cruisers miss entirely. Monitor your cruise fare after booking. If the price drops before final payment, many lines will allow you to reprice and capture the savings. That can mean hundreds, sometimes thousands, back in your pocket for the exact same cabin. After final payment, some lines may offer onboard credit instead of refunds, so it's still worth checking. And here is a powerful insider rule: never leave the ship without pricing your next voyage. Onboard booking desks frequently offer reduced deposits and valuable onboard credit bonuses that are often difficult to match once you're back on land. Finally, consider hosted or escorted group cruises through specialized agencies. These often secure bulk rate pricing and provide a built-in community of like-minded travelers. Mistake number 3 is refusing to use the mandatory cruise app. There is a common sentiment among seasoned travelers: I refuse to use a smartphone on vacation. Here is the hard truth for 2026. Cruise lines now rely heavily on mobile apps. From safety check-ins and dining reservations to daily schedules and food ordering, the app has become the primary way to manage your cruise, even if other options still exist. Boarding a ship today without the app set up, logged in, and updated makes navigating the ship incredibly difficult. It guarantees spending your first afternoon standing in a 45-minute line at guest services. The fix is mandatory pre-boarding setup. Download the app at home, upload the required security photos and passport data using a reliable home Wi-Fi connection. On many lines, you can even complete your safety drill requirements in the app before you ever step on board, skipping another line entirely. And remember, the app works on the ship's internal network for free. Purchasing an expensive internet package is not required just to check the daily schedule. One more critical step: turn off roaming data before sailing to avoid accidental international charges. Mistake number 4 is blindly trusting a favorite cruise brand without analyzing the specific ship. Many cruisers assume that if they love a cruise line, every ship in the fleet will feel the same. That is no longer true. Within the same brand, ships can offer radically different atmospheres. If you are an active cruiser looking for high-octane energy, Broadway-caliber entertainment, and endless dining options, the newest megaships may be perfect for you. But if your goal is classic maritime tranquility, booking the wrong ship can completely change your experience. Many traditionally older-skewing lines are aggressively chasing the multi-generational market, adding water slides, go-karts, and louder resort-style attractions. Even former adult-focused ships like P&O's Arcadia and Aurora will allow children on selected sailings from December 2026. If guaranteed peace is your priority, choose strategically. Global lines like Viking and Virgin Voyages enforce strict 18+ policies. UK-based options like Saga and Ambassador remain highly protective of their mature demographic. On premium and luxury lines such as Celebrity, Cunard, Oceania, or Seabourn, families will still be on board, especially during peak summer sailings, but the atmosphere remains more refined. Expect enrichment lectures and live music rather than poolside competitions. And if you want the energy of a large resort-style ship, but still demand a quiet sanctuary, use the ship-within-a-ship strategy. Booking into exclusive keycard access enclaves like Norwegian's The Haven, MSC's Yacht Club, or Celebrity's The Retreat gives you access to private lounges, restaurants, and sun decks while still enjoying the larger ship's amenities. The brand matters, but the specific ship matters far more. Mistake number 5 is assuming the newest ship in the fleet is the most convenient. Modern cruise ships are engineering marvels, but they are also enormous, often carrying 5,000 to 7,000 passengers across 18 to 20 decks. Booking a cabin on one of these floating cities can mean walking the length of the ship just to grab a morning coffee. It can mean waiting in crowded elevator banks during peak dinner hours because thousands of passengers are moving at the exact same time. Take Princess Cruises' new Sphere-class vessels or Celebrity's Edge-class ships. They are visually stunning and packed with innovation, but their sprawling layouts require serious daily mileage. Newer ships are also heavily optimized for revenue. Many have reduced traditional promenade decks and quiet public spaces in favor of specialty dining venues, premium lounges, and high-revenue suite complexes. If ease of movement, shorter walking distances, and classic ocean views are your priority, older mid-sized ships are often a strategic advantage. They are simpler to navigate, less congested, and physically less demanding, allowing you to conserve energy for the destinations instead of the hallways. Mistake number 6 is sacrificing sleep to save a fraction of the fare by booking a guarantee cabin. Cruise lines love to sell these discounted fares where they blindly assign your room location. This is a gamble that almost always ends poorly. At this stage of life, deep sleep and quiet relaxation are paramount. A guarantee cabin is often the room no one else wanted, directly under the scraping chairs of the pool deck at dawn, or right above the heavy bass of the main theater. The golden rule is simple. Your cabin should be surrounded on all sides by other cabins, above, below, and on both sides. Mobility and convenience must also dictate location. Aim for midship to reduce long walking distances. Stay close to elevators, but not so close that the constant ding keeps you awake. The bathroom setup matters too. A walk-in shower is no longer optional. Stepping over a high bathtub wall on a moving vessel is an unnecessary hazard. And here is a critical accessibility rule for 2026. If you or your partner use a wheelchair, never assume you can simply roll on board without prior arrangements. Lines like Cunard and P&O require guests bringing mobility equipment to declare it in advance so appropriate accommodations and emergency planning can be arranged. Failure to disclose mobility equipment ahead of time can result in boarding delays, or the device being denied if it does not meet safety or size requirements. Scooters and wheelchairs must physically fit through cabin doors and be stored inside the cabin, never in hallways, which must remain clear for emergency evacuation. If space is tight, booking an accessible cabin well in advance is strongly recommended, and on some cruise lines required. And remember, you don't have to travel with bulky equipment. Many cruise lines work with approved medical suppliers who can deliver mobility aids or oxygen directly to your cabin, as long as arrangements are made in advance. Never leave your cabin location or your accessibility arrangements to chance. Mistake number 7 is falling for the standard itinerary playbook. Defaulting to a classic 7-night Caribbean or Mediterranean cruise during peak summer months is a magnet for highly energetic, bustling crowds. The fix is to leverage your greatest advantage: ultimate flexibility. Stop competing for space during school holidays. Shift the entire booking mindset to off-peak and longer duration. When major regions must be visited, timing is everything. Target the Caribbean in November, early December, January, or February. The Mediterranean is vastly superior in June or October, while Alaska shines in May, early June, or late September. Upgrading to 10, 14, or even 21-night itineraries acts as a natural demographic filter. Longer voyages price out and time out younger families with limited vacation days, instantly creating a more relaxed onboard atmosphere. But here is a massive trap you must watch for: the fake 14-day cruise. Always study the itinerary map carefully. Some lines sell what appears to be a single 14-night voyage that is actually 2 back-to-back 7-day cruises stitched together. You may return to your original embarkation port halfway through the trip, endure a chaotic turnaround day, and even see the same dining room menus repeated the second week. If you are booking longer, make sure it is a true, continuous journey, not 2 identical loops disguised as one extended cruise. This leads directly to the ultimate over 55 secret: repositioning cruises. When ships move across the Atlantic or Pacific to change seasons, fares drop, sea days increase, and the demographic skews older. It is the perfect formula for a peaceful, high-value voyage. Beyond the typical transatlantic, look for ships moving between the Mediterranean and Asia, or from Australia to Alaska via Hawaii. These longer segments open doors to South America and the South Pacific, without the 7-night crowd. Mistake number 8 is ignoring the energy equation. At 55, 65, even 75, you might still be climbing volcanoes, hiking glaciers, and running circles around travelers half your age. This isn't about slowing down because you have to. It's about pacing yourself so you actually enjoy the vacation instead of just surviving it. Booking port-heavy bucket list itineraries just to aggressively tick boxes on a map is a one-way ticket to complete exhaustion. That is why sea days are critical. They aren't just wasted travel days, they are mandatory sanctuaries for recovery. Before you pay a deposit, count your tender ports. Boarding small, bobbing lifeboats to reach the shore involves prolonged waiting and entirely unnecessary physical stress. Climate is equally critical. Extreme temperatures like the sweltering Mediterranean in August will drain your energy rapidly no matter how fit you are. Furthermore, a ruined vacation often starts at the excursion desk when you ignore the fine print. A supposedly moderate Costa Rican rainforest walk can easily leave you navigating steep, muddy, uneven terrain. European walking tours routinely mean miles of ankle-twisting cobblestones in stifling humidity. You must always scrutinize the fine print for required fitness levels, total distances, terrain type, and stairs. The best 2026 fix? Abandon the crowded bus-based ship excursions entirely. Use platforms like Tours by Locals, Viator, or Shore Excursions Group for private guides. This guarantees total flexibility to adapt your pacing on the fly if the heat or the walking becomes too much. And here is the ultimate insider secret. It is perfectly acceptable to have a do-nothing day. Stay on board while everyone else rushes ashore to fight the crowds. If you want the ultimate private resort experience, hit the ship's hot tubs and pools right at 9 p.m. during the main dining service. You will often have the entire deck completely to yourself. Mistake number 9 is packing with the pharmacy assumption. Many travelers assume the ship is a floating city equipped with a full-service pharmacy ready to refill complex prescriptions or provide specific over-the-counter remedies. It is not. The ship's medical center is an emergency room, and any supplies they do have will be marked up astronomically. The 2026 protocol requires the +2 rule. Pack your required medications for the duration of the cruise, plus an additional 2 weeks' supply to account for unforeseen travel delays. If you're flying, fitting extra medications into your carry-on can be a nightmare. The good news? Most airlines allow medically necessary equipment, like CPAP machines and prescriptions, in a separate medical bag that doesn't count toward your carry-on limit. Keep all medications strictly in their original packaging, and keep a digital photo of the official prescription on your smartphone to avoid legal issues in strict foreign ports. Finally, pack a comprehensive, personalized first aid kit. Treating minor scrapes, headaches, or upset stomachs with brought-from-home supplies easily avoids a highly expensive, out-of-pocket visit to the ship's doctor. Mistake number 10 is the physical toll of overpacking. Packing just in case results in lugging heavy, cumbersome suitcases through chaotic airport terminals, customs lines, and sprawling cruise ports. It generates immense, entirely avoidable physical stress. Strategic packing for maximum comfort and peace of mind must be your ultimate goal. The paramount rule is to pack light and budget to utilize the ship's laundry service halfway through the voyage. Less luggage to haul directly equates to a significantly more enjoyable travel experience. However, if bringing an extensive wardrobe is absolutely non-negotiable, always book the cruise line's official transfer services. This allows your bags to be seamlessly handled by staff directly from the airport baggage claim straight to the stateroom door, completely removing the physical burden. Finally, mistake number 11 is the most dangerous of all, treating travel insurance as an optional upgrade. Travel insurance is no longer just a suggested box to check at checkout. It is a critical, non-negotiable financial and medical safety net. Here is the absolute hardest truth to accept. Buying the cheapest available policy without obsessively reading the fine print is a catastrophic error. Domestic health insurance, including Medicare, typically does not cover medical emergencies in international waters. The policy must explicitly cover 2 things without exception: comprehensive waivers for pre-existing medical conditions and highly robust medical evacuation and repatriation coverage. If a serious health emergency occurs at sea, the astronomical cost of a helicopter evacuation off the deck of a ship, followed by complex medical transport back to your home country, can instantly bankrupt a family. Now, here is the strategic move frequent cruisers use. If you plan on taking more than one cruise or international trip this year, stop buying single-trip policies. Look into annual travel insurance plans from reputable providers. These policies cover every trip you take for a full year and are often significantly cheaper than buying multiple single-trip plans. This has nothing to do with reimbursing a lost suitcase or a canceled flight. This is strictly about protecting your physical health, securing your peace of mind, and guaranteeing a safe return home no matter what happens in international waters. Now we want to hear from the veterans. What's one rookie mistake you made on your first cruise that still makes you laugh? Share it in the comments. Your experience might help someone else sail smarter. And if you want smarter cruise tips, money-saving strategies, and stress-free sailing advice, be sure to subscribe and explore more videos here on the channel.